I don't often talk about marketing. A lot of the talk that I do, a lot of my stuff is a lot about the subconscious mind and attraction and making money, attracting clients. But I thought I'd do something today about marketing. I've had a lot of people say, Mindy, can you do a podcast around marketing? So I thought, you know what, why not? Now, I've been over the years, I spent a lot of money in marketing. In fact, I used to put marketing down as the first most important thing in growing your business. I remember when I first sort of started out working with different mentors, it was all about driving traffic to your sales page, driving traffic to your e-commerce site. I remember my first mentor, wouldn't really call him a mentor, he was a wannabe mentor, but his advice was, hey, Mindy, you got to have 300 unique visitors to your website every single day for you to, really make things happen in your business. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how can I drive 300 people into my e-commerce website. Now, here's the thing. Think about this, right? There's a flaw in that strategy in itself. So 300 people. He didn't say 300 of a certain type of a person, a profile of a client, just 300 generalized people. Now, we got there, nothing was happening. Now, I spent lots of money over the years hiring people to do marketing, running I remember when I first started out, we was doing lots of stuff in magazines, like printouts, newspapers, direct mail. But then it all started to transition to online. And I spent a lot of money, especially when I first started my coaching business, hiring people to run ads for me, running VSLs, marketing people. And I got sick and tired of jumping from one person to the other, to the other, to the other. Now, in 1 year, I remember I worked with 7 different agencies in 1 year. And one particular lady, she, I think she was the biggest kind of a transition for me when I started working with her. Her name is Shani, great lady. And she was a student of Bob Proctor's, and she run a marketing agency over in Australia. And a friend of mine introduced me to her, and I said, hey, listen, I'm really struggling for someone to help me with my online side of things. And we connected. So we started working with Shani. Shani, if you're watching this, appreciate you know that. In fact, let's get Shani on a podcast. So I started working with Shani, and her clients were getting some phenomenal results. And when I heard about her clients' results, I'm like, this is me made. I'm going to start hitting similar sort of figures. Because I was under the impression, hey, listen, it's all down to the marketing agencies, down to the person. And so we started working together, started to run some ads, and things weren't changing for me. I was trying to work on a $1,500 a month ad spend. Even that, I was saying, Shani, listen, can we bring this down to $1,000? Can we bring this down lower? And I think I was probably the most unenjoyable person for her to work with at that point. And I was constantly blaming circumstances, blaming everything but everyone apart from myself. And I remember one time it kicked off. Shani's a really nice lady, and she tells it as it is. That's what I love about her. Straight up. Really great at what she does. And she says to me one day, Mindy, you know what? You're supposed to be a mindset coach and you've got the worst mindset out. And she goes, listen, it's not about marketing strategy. It's about you should know this, she says to me, it's about how your conditioning, your paradigms, your mindset, your beliefs. Now, this is why it ain't working. And she goes, the difference between you and these other people that I'm working with is that they have a better mindset. They have a strong mindset. And I thought to myself, you know what? It was the best thing that I'd ever heard, because sometimes you just need someone to tell you as it is. And I knew that she'd been to a couple of big Bob Proctor events and stuff, and she knew her stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Wow, I need to listen to her. And then I started to really work on myself. I stopped blaming everything else on the outside. Now, once I fixed my subconscious mind, once I fixed what was going on in the inside, I didn't have a belief that I could make money online. I had a great belief about seminars and stuff. I was really effective at that. But I had a really bad program, beliefs around me actually making money online, because I'd been trying it for so long, and I'd been looking at my past results. I'm spending all this money. So every time I went to work with a new agency, a new person to run ads for me, I would recall my past experiences. So I wouldn't have that belief. I'm like, you know what? It hasn't worked. It doesn't work for me. I'm doing, and it wouldn't work until I started to change that belief. Now, when I started to change me, when I really went to work on myself, my subconscious mind, I noticed that my results started to change. I remember the first time I ever got 2 clients online in one single day within a couple of hours of each other. Now, I'd been trying to build my business online for a good couple of years solidly. And all of a sudden, I see the transition happen. I'm like, you know what? The same marketing has begun working for me that wasn't working for me previously. And once I've done that, I thought, fucking hell, this is a game changer. And I started to attract clients online. I started to attract more clients than I can handle. Now, a lot of people try to get into the online space, but the most important thing is to have belief in yourself. Really be aligned for success. Now, you could have the best marketing agency working with you. You can have a great ads budget, right? But now, if you are not programmed to earn a certain level of income, all right, subconsciously, you are not going to get to that goal. And I see this all the time. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people don't even invest in any marketing. But firstly, you got to have your mindset right. Let's get that right. So I'm not saying like you got to work on the marketing. Marketing is secondary. But you've got to be programmed. If you want to earn 50K months, you must be subconsciously programmed. You must have that belief, the beliefs, in fact, not just a belief, the beliefs of someone that earns that 20, 50K a month, whatever you want to earn. Now, it's a belief that creates a reality. If you don't have that belief, it's not going to show up. You're not going to attract that. Now, sometimes people get small amount of results. They start to see their results changing, but quickly they get back to square one. The results start dropping. So now here's the other thing. There's a lot of people out there that I speak to in business is that they don't even invest any money in marketing. They don't see like, I haven't got enough money, I can't afford to do it. And I'm talking about people that are already earning some decent money. They don't really value, they're trying to build a business organically. Listen, you can build a business organically, right? But it's going to be a slow burner. It's going to be slow and it's going to take a lot of energy, right? But here's the thing. I want to really look at my business and ask myself, like, how can I actually cut down the time in order for me to get to my goal quicker? How can I actually reduce the time? Like with I'm looking at what softwares can we use? What new equipment can we use? My buddy here, Dan, behind the camera, he was working. We got a new monitor and it was a small monitor. So I said, listen, Dan, he said, look, we need a new monitor. I said, well, let's get a right monitor. That's going to reduce your time down. Got that, and it shifted the time down. So I want to condense time down. So if you look at like a marketing, do you have a marketing budget? Do you have a marketing strategy that you can plug into your business where you're getting consistent clients, leads, business flowing to you? Or are you kind of just sitting there on Facebook or on Instagram, just hoping that, someone's going to send you a DM, you sit there doing some videos? Content's really important, don't get me wrong, but belief's more important than content. You can spend all your life producing great content. I know somebody right now is spending lots of time producing videos and graphics and sitting there on Canva, creating lots of different things, but not doing the inner work. It's the inner work that changes everything on the outside. I really want you to think about your business right now. How are you running it? Do you have a strategy, or are you just kind of like taking each day as it comes? I'm constantly looking for like different strategies. Right, how can I take something from one industry and put it into mine? How can I, like in my coaching business, what can I do that someone is using in, let's say, in their fucking dental practice, or someone's using something in a total different industry that's got nothing to do with me? How can I bring that in? Jay Abraham's a great guy. He's probably one of the best marketers he's mentored everybody, right? Jay Abraham talks about bringing other strategies into other businesses, cross strategy. And it's really important to do that, having an open mind. Someone was asking me, how important is it to have a mastermind, but how important is it to have people from the same industry? I'm having problems finding people in my same industry to form my mastermind. I said, listen, I'd rather have people from different industries, right? Different industries in my mastermind group. Why is that then? Because listen, an industry has its own paradigm. So let's say that you own, let's say, a law firm. Okay, and you're working with other lawyers. So you're going to probably have similar strategies and similar ways of running your business. So you have an industry paradigm. So you start to do things that you would do in your industry. Now, imagine you have a law firm and you had a mastermind group and you had, let's say you had a fitness coach in there. Let's say that you had someone that does e-commerce in your mastermind. Let's imagine you had someone that does coaching, manufacturing or whatever. They are going to bring something to the table that that's going to be unique to yours, to your industry. Think about some of the things that are going on in your industry that other people are doing. Everybody's doing the same thing, same strategy, and everything looks the same online. I want to look at being unique. Okay, I want to look at bringing new ideas, new concepts into my business. So I want you to really firstly focus on like your mindset. First of all, your mindset's key. Do you really believe that you can achieve the results that you want? Now, if you don't, chances are you ain't going to take the action. Now, I speak to lots of people. I'm like, listen, marketing is important, but you got to put money back into the machine. You got to invest into your business. And I speak to so many people that they don't have a sales team. They don't have no outbound sales, inbound sales structure. The receptionist is a salesperson. I speak to people in lots of different industries, like, talk me about your sales process. All right, we get a phone call. The receptionist, will deal with that. I'm like, well, the receptionist, unless your receptionist is someone who's trained in sales, shouldn't be handling sales calls. What's the flow? Do you have a pipeline? How does that look like for you? We don't have a salesperson. Well, any business, right, should have a salesperson. Without a salesperson, imagine how much business that you're actually losing out. So I want you to think about your business right now. Do you have a marketing strategy that's plugging in new business into your ecosystem on a daily basis? Are you? Chances are you're probably not. Chances are you're probably trying to do everything yourself. You're trying to be the salesperson. You're trying to be the social media content creator. You're wearing all the hats. That's not how you build multi-million-pound businesses or dollar businesses. Investing in the right people is crucial. But you got to have a strategy. That's what I'm trying to say here. So have you allocated a certain budget into the machine? Now, a lot of people are scared of testing different things. You know what? I did try a marketing agency, or try to get someone to do ads, and they were no good. So we fired them. But here's the thing. You're going to have to hire and fire different people. I've used so many different agencies, and listen, you're going to find the right one. But you've got to be programmed for that. So don't be afraid if it's not working out with your current marketing people to say, all right, listen, it's not working out. We've been at this for 6 months. I'm not seeing any increase in my revenue, no new traffic coming in. Find someone else. Get referrals. Go look out there. Constantly be looking at other people out there who can maybe provide you with a service. I'm constantly looking at, right, who else is out there in this space? Who else is doing this? Who else is doing that? I want to know. Right? So think about your business. How much are you going to be willing to, of each transaction, put in back into the machine? Like, what if you put 10% of your annual turnover, your profits, back into marketing, or 20%? And that's when you start to scale, right? First, you might put in, let's say you're going to put $1,000 into your machine. That $1,000 turns into $3,000, right? Then it turns into $10,000. So the more you bring in, the more you start putting back into the machine. You start to increase your budget, your marketing budget. Then you get to a certain point, you can exactly figure out how much it's costing you to get to acquire a client acquisition, the cost of it. Right? Then what you do is you don't just stick with that one platform. Once that's working, you try a different platform as well. A lot of people, a problem that people make, an issue that people have is that they try too many different strategies simultaneously when they haven't got one off the ground. I know this because I was trying to do Facebook. It wasn't working. I was trying to do YouTube as well as Facebook. It wasn't working. I was trying to plug in LinkedIn. It wasn't working. So I was trying 3 different things that I was failing at. And that was having, it was like rinsing my cash flow, right? So get one thing working. Don't be afraid to invest. Don't be afraid to put some money into the machine. And you might say, well, it's risky. Yeah, listen, it's risky waking up. It's risky jumping in your car. It's risky crossing the road. Doesn't mean we don't do it, right? So take some calculated risks. Do something, plug something in. I want you to say, identify your main stream of driving traffic into your business. What is it? Do you even have one? Is it word of mouth? A lot of people, it's surprising how many people actually rely on word of mouth. I speak to lots of people. Well, how do you get your clients? Oh, word of mouth, word of mouth. Okay, so how many mouths can you put that word in? When you rely on word of mouth, already your business is stagnant, right? You can't rely on other people to just refer clients to you. That should be a secondary thing. That shouldn't be a primary way of like bringing business in. You should have a lead generation system. Put some money into the marketing. And here's the other thing. Make sure you know what you're marketing, right? You got to be really clear on what it is that you're selling. A lot of people, you might say, well, I am clear. A lot of people are not really clear on what they're selling. So if you're not clear on what you're selling, how can you be effective at selling what you're selling? If you don't know what you're selling, how the fuck do you expect other people to guess what you're selling? Make sure that your messaging is spot on. I might do a separate workshop about messaging. I don't know. It's really crucial, right? So listen, put some money back in the machine. Don't be a tight ass, right? You should constantly be putting money in the machine. Really important. I've got like buddies of mine that run multi-million-dollar organizations, and they're constantly putting money in the machine. Not everything's going to work, and you got to be okay with that, right? Not everything that you put your money into is going to work. But here's the thing. You learn from them things, you take feedback, and then you just say, right, this works, this doesn't work. It gives you feedback. When people do like testing on ads, the first bit of the budget is going towards testing, just to see what doesn't work and what does work. So the initial bit of money that they invest into the marketing machine isn't really going to produce results. What it's going to do is going to give you data, right? It's going to give you data to see what's working and what's not working. And then you make the tweak. Speaking to a client of mine a couple of weeks ago, trying to run some ads. How'd that go? that company didn't really get me ads, so I stopped it. All right, so why did you stop it? Because it wasn't getting me any traffic. No business was coming out. Okay, do you know why it wasn't getting you any business? Why the clients weren't coming? Why money? No, just wasn't getting. You got to be a bit wiser than that. You got to figure out, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's see how many clicks we got. Let's see how much leads we got. Let's see the type of traffic that we're getting. You can't just make your decision on like, oh, I spent like $2,000 a month for 3 months, didn't get any traffic. But what if that 3 months gave you data, right? Gave you data. Anytime we do anything, I'm looking at that first point just to bring me data. And then once you got that data, you can make calculated decisions in order for you to adapt your marketing according to the data that you received as feedback. Okay, really important. So don't ever just stop on month 1. Go 2-3 months in and see what's working. The best things that happen to me is that I've tried things and I've learned from them and I've adapted. That's how things start to change, right? Do not quit. Persistence is key, right? So I'm going to sign out for this one. Make sure that you pay attention to your marketing, but more importantly, in how you're programmed, how you feel. Do you see yourself as successful? Okay. Now, if you don't see yourself as successful, like Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, if you don't see riches in your imagination, you'll never see them in your mind. So remember that. Take care.